against the window. The lamp behind us glows honey gold, turning the living room shadows velvety and safe. I smile up at you, my trademark innocent smile, the one you tease me about when I order extra sprinkles on everything, and I giggle when you raise an eyebrow, wondering why I'm so squirmy tonight. I talk about the movie marathon we planned, how the popcorn smells perfect, how the rain makes staying in feel like an intentional date rather than plan B. My voice stays light, fluttery, like a moth skimming warm light bulbs. We laugh about my dramatic gasp when the hero tripped over his own shoelace, and you nudge me, calling me the queen of overreaction. I retaliate by stealing another handful of your popcorn, and you shake your head in mock defeat. I sip my cocoa, breathing the steam, purposefully delaying the real reason I invited you over so late. I ramble about the new bakery down the block, the quirky barista who draws hearts in foam, the stray cat that's adopted our porch swing. Every mundane detail feels like tying little bows of comfort around us, soft knots you can tug loose later. I keep staring though, with a sparkle I know you've noticed. My foot brushes your ankle. You jolt as if I shocked you, and I murmur a breathy, sorry, though I am anything but. Oh, before I get lost in my confessions, tell me in the comments where in the world you're listening from tonight. I love picturing us curled up together across oceans, mountains, tiny studio apartments, candlelit bedrooms, wherever you feel safest with me. The clock ticks toward our 4-minute mark. I straighten, gathering courage, and press a shy kiss to your cheek. You feel the warmth linger as I pull back, eyes wide and earnest. There's something I've been replaying in my mind, I whisper, something I'm ready to share if you promise not to laugh. You cross your heart. I breathe. The story begins. Earlier this week, I wandered into a vintage bookstore. The shelves smelled like cedar and forgotten wishes. I found a tiny ribbon-bound journal tucked behind romance novels. Inside were handwritten describe Fantasy 1. We're on a midnight train, whole carriage to ourselves, city lights flickering past. I'm wearing an oversized sweater and your headphones, but underneath the sweater is lace you haven't seen yet. The thrill isn't about passengers or scandal. It's the vibration of wheels on rails humming through the seats, up our spines, until every soft breath feels amplified. I confess that in my daydream, I guide your hand to the rhythm of the tracks, steady, slow, teasing, until you can't decide whether to focus on the landscape or my barely contained grin. You laugh, saying it sounds like me, to combine cozy sweaters and mischievous lace. Fantasy 2 spills out next, lighter, funnier. We're baking cookies at 2 a.m., flour everywhere, and you challenge me to a no-hands taste test. I nibble chocolate chips from your lips, giggling when powdered sugar clouds surround us, like winter. The oven timer dings, but we ignore it because you're too busy wiping a stray streak of batter from my nose with your tongue. You groan in amused disbelief, and I shrug innocently. What? Waste not, want not. Fantasy 3 makes my cheeks heat. We're in a quaint art studio on a Sunday, with skylights pouring in gold. There's a locked door, our fresh canvas, and non-toxic body paint in pastel shades. I ask you to lie down so I can trace my dreams across your skin. Gentle swirls along shoulders, secret constellations over ribs. Each brush stroke earns a contented sigh from you. Eventually you sit up and paint matching vows down my spine, one glowing word at a time. The idea of being your living artwork sends shivers dancing along my arms even now. By the 16-minute mark, exploration of every freckle, every sleepy smile. Tell me, I urge again, how many dawns would you spend like that with me? Compliments tumble from my lips. How your laugh is sunrise. How your patience feels like plush velvet wrapped around my heart. How you make ordinary Tuesdays feel like moonlit holidays. I weave our hypothetical futures, renting a cabin near the sea, turning rainy Sundays into board game battles, where the loser has to grant one secret wish, adopting that porch swing cat and naming it Sprinkles, because of course I would. You chuckle warmly, and I grow earnest. Promise me, I whisper, if the world ever grows too loud, you'll reach for my hand and say, paint me a quiet place. I'll do it in a heartbeat. The emotional tide peaks around 24 minutes. I lean close enough that you feel every syllable across your ear. I've bared pieces of my